Does Google, through this phone, know that I have moved here and moved over to the left?
Not by default. There may be a Google service which you've opted in to use, and if...
So Google knows that I am moving over there. It's not a trick question. You know, you make $100 million a year, you ought to be able to answer that question.
Yet another US Congress hearing and yet another bunch of irritated, dissatisfied and some very confused congressmen who grilled Google CEO Sundar Pichai for over 3.5 hours on questions around Google's data sharing and privacy, the company's search engine that it's looking to release in China, and also a lot of hullabaloo around Google tracking users even in their bathrooms. And a whole lot of US politics which we Indians don't need to worry about. Yet, from that long session, we managed to dig out some highlights that one would deem worthy of some attention. Also, I just learned if you go to Google and search the image result for the word idiot, guess what you find?
Right now, if you Google the word idiot under images, a picture of Donald Trump comes up. I just did that. How would that happen? How does search work so that would occur?
According to many reports, Google has been looking to introduce a censored version of its search engine in China, and this hasn't gone down well with many US congresspersons.
How working with the Chinese government to censor research results are part of Google's core values.
Many brought forth pressing issues about what kind of data the Chinese will have access to once Google goes live in the country. Sundar elucidated that company is exploring ways to serve users in China, but was inconclusive about the finality of the search engine ever being launched there.
Right now, there are no plans for us to launch a search product in China.
Another hot topic at the hearing was the latest Google Plus breach that affected more than 52.5 million users.
You collect private data for use in advertising. How can we be assured, considering this new breach, that the personally identifiable information of consumers is safe with you?
The Congress addressed their concern of how the data breach occurred and how vulnerable their data was. Pichai constantly reiterated that no user data had been misused.
We do not and would never sell user data. We do give consumers preferences about how their data is used for advertising. Most of our user experience, we make our advertising relevant based on the keywords you type in.
When asked whether users should be worried about such future vulnerabilities, Pichai responded saying that the users always have an option to opt out of the ecosystem. Pichai was also asked by one of the congressmen to simplify the data transparency policy so that users would know where all Google was using the data. Pichai responded about Google Dashboard, an application which shows what kind of data the company is using and how they could also make changes to those settings.
Do you or do you not collect identifiers like name, age, and address? Yes or no?
Yes.
Specific search histories when person types something into a search bar?
Yes.
Device identifiers like IP address or IMEI?
Depending on the situation, we could be collecting it, yes.
GPS signals, Wi-Fi signals, Bluetooth beacons?
Would depend on the specifics, but there may be situations, yes.
GPS, yes.
Yes.
In terms of data privacy, Pichai said that the company doesn't use the data for any monetary purposes, nor does it sell the data to any third-party sources. The Google CEO added that Google stores the IMEI number, GPS location, and the data from the Bluetooth beacon. Though there were many other pressing questions asked at the hearing, Pichai had an apt reply to all those questions. The same reply that Mark Zuckerberg had a few months ago.
We'll definitely have our office follow up.
As for Pichai, he will be relieved to be done with the hearing without having his feathers ruffled.